The fire started at 2:17 a.m. I remember the time because it was burned into my medical records, right next to the words third-degree burns and inhalation trauma. But before the sirens, before the smoke, before the pain, there was a door closing, and my husband stepping outside. I woke up coughing. At first, I thought I was dreaming. My throat felt raw, like I'd swallowed sand. The air was thick, heavy, wrong. Then I smelled it. Smoke. I sat up too fast, my head spinning, and that's when I saw the orange glow bleeding under the bedroom door. "Jason?" I called out. No answer. I swung my legs out of bed and rushed to the hallway. Heat slammed into me like a wall. The living room was already on fire. Flames climbed the curtains greedily, licking the ceiling like they had all the time in the world. My phone was on the kitchen counter. Unreachable. "Jason!" I screamed. Nothing. That's when I heard the front door. Opening, then closing. I ran toward the stairs, but the smoke dropped me to my knees. My lungs burned. I crawled instead, dragging myself forward, coughing, crying, desperate. "Please!" I screamed. "I'm still inside!" I don't know if he heard me, but I know he didn't come back. The ceiling collapsed before I could reach the back door. I felt something hot crash onto my shoulder. Pain exploded across my skin. I remember thinking, this is how people die. And then, hands, strong arms, a voice yelling through the chaos. "I've got you! Stay with me!" A firefighter smashed through the smoke like a miracle wrapped in oxygen and steel. He lifted me, shielded my face, and carried me out of hell. The last thing I saw before blacking out was my house, our house, fully engulfed, and my husband standing across the street, watching. I woke up 3 days later in the ICU. Tubes everywhere, machines breathing for me. My mother crying quietly in the corner. The doctor's words blurred together. Severe burns, face, shoulder, back, months of recovery, possible scarring. "Your husband stepped outside before the fire spread," the nurse said gently. "He told responders he thought you were behind him." I stared at the ceiling. Jason didn't think. He knew. The investigation ruled it an electrical fire. Faulty wiring. No criminal charges. Jason visited once. Just once. He stood at the foot of my bed, eyes red, voice shaking. "I thought you were out," he said. I couldn't speak. My throat was still raw from the smoke, but I watched him carefully. No burns, no soot, no injury. He walked away untouched. Recovery was hell. Skin grafts, physical therapy. Mirrors I avoided. Months turned into a year. Jason stayed married to me, on paper, but he moved out, said he needed space. I learned later he also needed money. Because while I was learning how to smile again with scarred skin, I was also rebuilding something else, my power. Before the fire, I had been quiet, supportive. The woman behind the man. Jason managed investments using my inheritance, my father's money, my silence. During recovery, I started asking questions, and I didn't stop. By the time I walked back into society, healed, scarred, unbroken, I was no longer the woman he left in a burning house. I was a woman who had survived fire. And men like Jason, they burn very easily. I didn't just survive the fire. I transformed. The first months after leaving the hospital were the hardest. Simple things became mountains. Learning to smile again with half my face scarred. Walking into stores where strangers stared. Learning to be independent when Jason had been my lifeline for years. But inside me, something shifted. Something fierce. I realized that survival wasn't enough. I wanted more. I spent the first year quietly. I couldn't face Jason, and I didn't want to. He had abandoned me. I had no intention of running back to him. I remembered the inheritance. My father had left me a small sum, invested mostly in stocks and real estate. Before the fire, Jason had managed it. I barely knew the numbers. But necessity breeds clarity. I dove into books. I studied business online, taking every free webinar, every financial guide I could find. I started small, flipping properties, selling antiques, learning negotiation. By the second year, I had my own empire. Properties, investments, even a small tech startup I had funded anonymously. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was thriving. Scarred, yes, but untouchable in ambition. Meanwhile, Jason had spiraled without me. He had always depended on my money, my connections, my family's influence. He tried to maintain appearances. A house here, a car there. But slowly, everything crumbled. The investors he called friends stopped answering his texts. Landlords refused to extend his leases. Credit cards maxed out. The man who once walked out of my burning house with nothing but a smug grin now had nothing at all. And, as if the universe had a sense of irony, he still needed me, though he wouldn't admit it. The first time I saw Jason after the fire wasn't planned. I was at a gala in New York. Black dress, confidence radiating, scars hidden under flawless makeup. I didn't need him. I didn't want him. But the universe has its own timing. Jason was there too. Desperate, humbled, broken. His tailored suit looked cheap, like he had borrowed it. His eyes widened when he saw me. "You," he started, voice shaking. "I didn't expect you." I didn't even flinch. "I'm not who I was, Jason," I said, smooth and calm. "And neither are you." He swallowed. The hunger for my attention, my money, my approval, all things I had given freely before, glimmered in his eyes. Jason tried every tactic he knew: charm, apology, manipulation. I listened, occasionally smiled, but I never gave him the satisfaction of control. Inside, I had a plan. He would feel the weight of every moment he left me in that fire. I started subtly. At first, I made sure he knew I was doing well. A new mansion, a thriving business, friends in high places. Then, I allowed him small wins, a lunch here, a casual conversation there. But every time he tried to leverage anything for himself, I reminded him, silently, powerfully, that I was in control. It didn't take long for Jason to understand. He had relied on me all these years. Without me, he was nothing. He came to me for a loan once, pretending humility. His pride cracked, his face pale. He began. "I need some help. I looked at him, scarred, transformed, untouched by his world, and finally spoke. "You left me to die," I said. "Do you remember that? The fire?" He flinched. A bead of sweat ran down his temple. I didn't know. I didn't think I would ever see you begging, Jason," I interrupted. "But here you are. And now, you will feel a fraction of what I felt." I didn't ruin him overnight. Revenge is an art. It's about patience, control, and letting them destroy themselves under the illusion of choice. I started by controlling his finances. Every contact he tried to reach, I intercepted. Every investor he relied on, I reminded them of his failures. Slowly, he began to burn, piece by piece. Then came the social humiliation. Invitations to events he once attended with me? Gone. Business opportunities? I quietly took the same deals he tried to grab. I didn't shout. I didn't call attention. I simply moved forward while he stumbled, desperate for scraps of power. And all the while, I remained untouchable. A woman reborn from ashes. Every scar a reminder of the fire he walked away from. What made the revenge sweeter wasn't just the money or status. It was knowing he felt dependent on me. For the first time in his life, Jason realized he couldn't survive without the woman he once betrayed. He had abandoned me in fire. Now he walked in the shadows of my success, powerless, desperate, and small. And for me, that was justice. Not rage, not hate, justice. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. Every story I share is inspired by real experiences, stories of pain, survival, strength, and transformation. These are voices that were once silenced and stories that deserve to be heard. Let me know in the comments what this story made you feel and which city you're listening from. Your support helps me continue sharing powerful stories like this one. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next story.